Step by step, they move closer toward what seems to be the core of the anomaly, fully aware that whatever lies ahead may be their toughest challenge yet. As they cross into the heart of the domain, their caution proves justified almost instantly. The moment they enter, the situation spirals out of control. Panic erupts without warning. Leica is overcome with sheer terror, her reaction immediate and visceral. Edge's expression twists as fear takes hold, while Sandy is left stunned, struggling to process what's happening. The ground beneath them disappears as if it had never existed. In an instant, the entire group is plunged into open air, their bodies dropping rapidly through an endless sky. The sudden shift leaves no time to think. Leica tries to regain control of the situation, attempting to steady everyone mentally, and urging them to focus on finding a way to land safely. But events move faster than anyone can react. Out of nowhere, a massive bird descends with terrifying speed. Its presence is overwhelming, and before anyone can intervene, it snatches Zeke clean out of the air. The action is so sudden that it leaves the rest of the team helpless to respond. Sandy watches in horror as the scene unfolds, her attention torn between Zeke being carried away and Leica continuing to fall toward the forest far below. Zeke himself barely has time to comprehend what's happening. One moment he is falling alongside his team, and the next he is being hauled away through the sky. The sheer unpredictability of the situation leaves him momentarily stunned. Below, Leica desperately gestures toward the sky, her focus locked on Zeke as he disappears into the distance. Her concern for him is immediate and overwhelming, but Edges quickly forces her attention back to reality. He emphasizes the urgency of their own survival as the ground rushes closer with alarming speed. Faced with the inevitable, Leica braces herself for impact. Preparing for the worst, nearby, Vanel reacts with visible irritation, clearly unimpressed by the chaos surrounding him. He calls upon his attendant, Alan, and without hesitation, the two shift into action. Alan executes a newly mastered technique, channeling wind into a protective form reminiscent of an umbrella. At the same time, Vanel unleashes his own refined wind-based abilities. The combination of their techniques generates a powerful whirlwind beneath the falling group. The swirling air forms a cushioning barrier, slowing their descent and reducing the severity of the fall. The effect is immediate, the violent drop is softened, giving them a chance to survive what would have otherwise been a devastating impact. Edges manages to seize a sturdy tree branch at the last possible moment, narrowly avoiding a direct collision with the ground. Vanel and Alan land with precision, their control over the wind allowing them to touch down smoothly. The others are not as fortunate. Leica and Sandy hit the ground hard, the impact sending waves of pain through their bodies. Sandy voices her frustration at the rough landing, clearly shaken. Vanel, however, shows little sympathy, dismissing the situation with cold indifference. Edges steps in quickly, attempting to ease the tension by pointing out that without their intervention, the outcome would have been far worse. Leela slowly pushes herself upright, acknowledging the pain, but confirming that she is still able to continue. The group takes a moment to recover as Edges scans their surroundings. The environment is unfamiliar and unsettling, unlike anything they have encountered before. Recognizing the uncertainty ahead, he suggests they take advantage of the moment to recover, encouraging everyone to use healing resources while they can. With the immediate danger behind them, Leica turns her attention to Vanel and Alan. She expresses genuine gratitude for their actions, acknowledging that they saved the team from a far worse fate. The response she receives is distant. Vanel dismisses the thanks, framing his actions as a necessity for the mission, rather than an act of goodwill. Sandy reacts with mild frustration, wishing for at least a hint of acknowledgement. Alan then shifts the focus to a more pressing concern, Zeke's sudden disappearance. The question of what to do next hangs heavily over the group. Vanel's response is blunt, suggesting that they simply move on without him. This sparks curiosity, leading Leela to question whether he might actually be concerned despite his words. His reaction is immediate and defensive, denying any such feeling, though his demeanor suggests otherwise. Sandy observes this contradiction, noting his inability to be honest about his own thoughts. Surprisingly, Edges sides with Vanel's perspective, arguing that worrying about someone like Zeke may be unnecessary. This unexpected confidence catches Sandy off guard, prompting her to question how he can be so certain. Leica's agreement only deepens her confusion. Frustration builds as she tries to understand how the others perceive Zeke. In their minds, memories of his past actions surface, his relentless training, his intense presence, and his overwhelming strength. These recollections shape a shared conclusion among them. To them, Zeke is something far beyond ordinary. As this realization settles in, Sandy begins to question whether her own perception is the outlier. Edges brings the conversation back to the immediate problem, reminding everyone that regardless of their opinions, they still need to regroup with him. The challenge lies in figuring out where to begin. At this point, Leela offers a crucial piece of information. During their fall, she managed to catch sight of something unusual in the distance, a distinct pillar of light. While Alan expresses doubt that anyone could maintain awareness during such chaos, Leela remains confident. She indicates a specific direction within the dense forest, certain of what she saw. Her certainty surprises the group. When questioned, she explains that she briefly surveyed the surroundings mid-fall and committed the location to memory. The display of awareness earns admiration, particularly from Sandy, who is visibly impressed. Building on this information, Leica quickly and decisively forms a plan. She recalls that the bird carrying Zeke was heading in the same direction as the strange, glowing light. This connection provides them with a clear and immediate objective. Rather than wandering aimlessly through the unknown terrain, they decide to head toward the towering pillar of light, believing it may lead them closer to him. The group agrees without much hesitation, recognizing that Zeke himself would likely be drawn to something so unusual and mysterious. Meanwhile, far from the others, Zeke's situation unfolds in a completely different and far more perilous manner. Despite the circumstances, he appears surprisingly composed and observant. Rather than panicking, he reflects on the unexpected turn of events with a sense of curiosity and intrigue. Being seized by a massive creature, the very moment he entered the rift, is not something he had anticipated. Yet he treats it as a strangely novel experience. The encounter introduces him to something entirely new, an attack originating from another dimension. Even the sheer shock of it fails to unsettle him for long. Instead, he regards it as a rare opportunity to learn and adapt. Though separated from his team, he shows no real concern for their ability to manage without him. His confidence in them remains steady and unshaken. As the bird continues its long, powerful flight, its behavior suddenly shifts. The subtle change signals that their journey is nearing its end. Without warning or ceremony, the creature abruptly releases him. Zeke begins to fall once again, this time completely alone. Looking downward, he quickly understands exactly where he is headed. Below him sits a massive, crudely built nest perched precariously atop a jagged mountain peak. The structure is enormous, and within it are 3 large, restless chicks, each one eagerly awaiting food. Their attention locks onto him instantly. The young birds react with visible excitement, their anticipation unmistakable, as they prepare to receive what they perceive as their next meal. As Zeke descends rapidly toward them, the situation becomes painfully clear. He is the target, and to them, he is nothing more than food falling straight into their grasp.